Hello, friends, and happy Friday once again. Happy September 1st. I just have to share with you that by this time next week on the show, I will be another year older. It will be my 61st birthday on Thursday, the 7th. And that just feels really weird to me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the state of the world these days, but, and I'm not hung up about it. It's not stressing me out, but it's intriguing me to just think back to all that I've lived through and experienced and things that have happened in the world and all the changes with technology and energy and communication and social media. And it's kind of exciting. It's kind of exciting. And I can't help but wonder, what else am I going to see before it's my time to leave? Because I'm sure there's even more exciting stuff to happen that nobody's thought of yet. I hope I'm around long enough to see some of it, but it's just a wild place. It's just to consider, to kind of have a big picture image of just where I've been, where I've come from, where I started, who I am now, and how much time I've been here. It doesn't feel like that long. It really doesn't feel like that long. And I made a decision today. I don't want to look. I don't know what is 61 supposed to look like, right? I mean, I think of people like Christy Brinkley, some of those supermodels, and who knows? I'm sure they have people that can help them with their hair and makeup and stuff. But some of those ladies, you would never know. You would never know how old they are looking at them. So I think I'd like to start devoting a little more time to getting myself healthy, keeping myself healthy so that I look and feel healthier. Because, tomorrow's not promised. And again, I'm excited about all that I've already lived and experienced and would like to be around a little longer to see some more things before I go. My second oldest grandchild starts her senior year of high school, or she just started her senior year of high school. Our oldest granddaughter, Cadence, is starting her second year at Harding. She's already started. They got her moved into the dorms a few weeks ago. She's a track star there. She's going to school on a scholarship because she is a state champion pole vaulter, of all things. And so I'm just proud and amazed and humbled and encouraged and dumbfounded at how you really just blink and decades go by. That's how it feels. So I gotta see who's texting me. Ads in text messages. Okay, so before I get rolling, really, I want to show you these dogs because the dogs that were here last week boarding with us, remember the little ones did not want to come get in the chair with me. I think that will have changed by today because the last 3 nights they've even slept in the bed with me. And so I'm going to try to get them up here and tell you who's who. Come here, Cooper. Come here, Cooper. Let me do Cooper first. Let's do Cooper first. This is Cooper. This is baby Cooper. Can you guys believe it? Look at him. He's so sweet. He's a sweet boy. You're fine. Hey. Okay, you want down? Okay. And here's Tucker. Y'all, I think Tucker might be my favorite. I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but Tucker is pretty chill. He's the oldest in the bunch, but he's still only about 2 years old. So he's kind of the leader. Even though Cooper seems a little more independent, I'm often finding Cooper, just off doing his own thing in the house and out of the house. Here's Max. Here's Max. Look at him. Gosh, is he so cute? It's okay. We're on the camera. Can you say hi on the camera? Can you say hi on the camera? Yeah. That's the babies. Gucci, do you want to come say hi? Here's Nico again. I think you guys saw Nico last week. Come here, Nico. Come here, Nico. Oh, yeah, you can see him. That's Nico. I love him so. I love him so. So Nico is a golden doodle, like Gucci. Come here, Gucci. Come say hi. Come here, Gucci. Come and say hi. Come here. Come here. Come here, Gucci. Come here. Come here, Gucci. Come here. Come here. So this is Gucci. Gucci is our regular longtime boarder. She's here like 4 days a week and has been. Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you. That's so good. Has been since October last year. So we're coming up on a year of having her as a regular boarder. Hello, Jerry at Butler Family Farm. How are you? Things are good here today. It doesn't seem quite as hot, but part of that is that in spite of the weather going on in the Gulf and hurricanes and stuff, it's not as humid. And that makes a big difference. It does maybe feel a little more humid today than it did the last couple of days, but not like it was in the month or so leading up to today. Anyway, so Gucci has been with us almost a year in October. She got her stitches out. You know, she had some surgery she had a big cyst removed off of her hind end about 12 days ago. Oh, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today. And she got the sutures out yesterday. They did biopsy the stuff that was inside of it because it's the second time she's gotten one of these big lumps. And I don't know how to interpret it, but her mom said the doctors told her yesterday at the appointment that there is a 50% chance that this is a soft tissue cancer, but that she's got to wait another week to get the results. So I don't know enough about cancer, dog cancers, to know like what other tests they're going to be doing in the next week to either confirm or rule out a cancer. It does concern me, obviously. And I mean, I've wondered, I thought when she got the first one, because she had just had a surgery to remove the first one, which was on the opposite side on her hind end, like a week or so before her first stay with us. So in her early videos, you can see that big wound from her surgery, but it healed up nicely. And I remember wondering at the time if it was some sort of an injury related to grooming, because her mom keeps her groomed regularly, and they typically cut that hair super short back there on her back end. And I thought maybe, you know, she got nicked while she was being groomed, and then it got infected, and then it abscessed. That was just, you know, I mean, I'd rather think that than to think it's some sort of a cancerous lesion. Anyway, so that one went away, and that would have been in October last year. And then this other one popped up probably 2 months ago when I first started noticing it growing. So her mom got her the surgery a couple of weeks ago, and it's healing up nicely. It's still pretty swollen. I don't remember the other one staying swollen so long after they took the sutures out. Anyway, so say a little prayer for Gucci and her mom, Tiffany. She's doing great. I mean, her energy is good. I don't think she's in any discomfort or pain. She's healed up nicely. It's just still kind of swollen, but you know, that cancer word is just never anything anyone wants to hear that's related to any creature or person that they know. So that's kind of on my mind right now. But Gucci's her regular self, and it's not changing her outlook at all. So that's good news. So those are the dogs that are staying with us right now. This is a couple. Richard works with their human dad. He's the IT manager for, hey, Connie, how are you? He's the IT manager for General Motors, at least here at the Southwest Division of General Motors. And so they've become friends because they work together. And, you know, we've been out to dinner with them a time or two, and they had this big trip planned. And so I think last summer they asked us about boarding the dogs, because Richard had shared with them that we often book up a year in advance for summer break and Christmas, Thanksgiving and Christmas vacations or the holiday seasons, because we don't take a lot of dogs at a time. Typically, we would not have this many dogs here, but it's all the same family. Now, the three little dogs belong to Richard's coworker and his wife, and then the big golden doodle boy is their son. So the whole family is on vacation in Alaska. They've been sending us amazing videos and photos, and I've always wanted to go. It's on my bucket list, but I am just like drooling over these pictures now. I've never been on a cruise, and my my cruise dreams are to cruise, do an Alaskan cruise someday, and do a cruise of the Greek Isles. To me, though, that just sounds like the two most amazing places you could see by ship. So we're living vicariously through the images and videos that they're sending us, and we're sending them lots of images and videos so they can see how the dogs are doing, because it's the first time. I don't remember about Nico. Nico is the big golden doodle, and I don't remember if he has ever spent time away from his dad or not, but this is the very first time ever that these littles have been away from their parents. Now, the oldest one, again, he's about 2. Maybe she said he's 2.5, and then the 2 others are from the same litter, and they're 19 months old. So they're still pretty much babies. Hello, Lee from First Floor Audio. How are you? Good to see you. And anyway, so, that doesn't change anything about how we handle them or treat them. When we have dogs here, they're part of the family. If you missed it at the very beginning of the show, all 4 of these dogs and Serena, a night or two, have been sleeping in the bed with me. So obviously the littles don't take up a lot of room. But this golden doodle boy is massive, and Serena doesn't take up a lot of room, and she doesn't move. She finds a spot, she stays in it. But the littles move around a little bit, and Nico moves around a little bit. I think he's about 4. And so I can't say I've slept as well the last few nights, although it warms my heart that the dogs want to sleep with me. So they already follow me around like my own dogs. I took a shower before the show. Anytime I've taken a shower now, they're all laying in the bathroom waiting for me. Or if I'm using the bathroom, they're all in the bathroom waiting for me. So, and that's what we want. Our philosophy has always been that we want to offer to our boarders' families what we would want for our own dogs if we had to leave our dogs somewhere. And so it warms my heart to be liked by by all the dogs that come here. And they're just a hoot anyway. It's great entertainment, and they have a good time because none of the dogs that visit here have property. I mean, they have a backyard. All of them have backyards, but well, Gucci, I think her mom lives in an apartment, so she doesn't even really have a backyard. So she has to be out on leash all the time. So I know it's an opportunity for enrichment and stimulation and mental exercise along with physical exercise for any of the dogs that get to come, because they can run and exercise their bodies and sniff and have their own little vacations while their parents are away. So I just wanted to show you those guys because I am just eating up having these little dogs here. These are the littlest dogs we've ever had stay with us, and they're very much cuddly little lap dogs. So that's a totally different world from what we're used to. When we started our boarding business, it was always big dogs because the boarding business kind of grew out of our foster relationship with Good Shepherd Rescue. Foster dogs that were adopted, their families would contact us after they were adopted to see if we would babysit. And then word spread so that even dogs that were not adopted from us, they would learn that we had space and that we knew about German Shepherd dogs. And so those were the first dogs we kept. Probably the first year or so that we boarded, it was all German Shepherd dogs because it was all through Good Shepherd Rescue. But then those people, the Good Shepherd Rescue people, began to tell their friends and family and neighbors and people at church and stuff that mentioned they needed somewhere to board their dogs. And so now we've had, I'm trying to think what breeds we haven't had. We've had Smooth Collie, and we've had Bulldogs, and the Dogo Argentino, and the big European Doberman, and the Pit Bulls, and the Labradors, and the Cocker Spaniel, and then the just little mixed mutt dogs. It's still predominantly the bigger dogs, still the Good Shepherd dogs, because our loyal base of clients is still more related to Good Shepherd Rescue. Good Shepherd Rescue recommends us. So when they get an email or a phone call or text message from someone that is looking for a good place to board the dogs, they give them our name. So that's part of why we book out so far at times. But it's also because, again, we don't take a whole lot of dogs at a time. So this is a little bit beyond the norm to have this many here, but it doesn't feel like that many more than our 3 dogs. I mean, they're good dogs. I'm sure it would be different if we had, difficult to manage dogs, challenging dogs. But I credit my human experience with having 4 human children in 5 years as being a great practice for managing so many little things. Well, big things, but just being responsible for the welfare and care and nurturing and feeding of living creatures. To have had so many kids so close together, it doesn't necessarily feel overwhelming to me. I get kind of tired at times because I don't feel like I have a lot of downtime. Obviously, if I'm sleeping in the bed with 5 dogs, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm getting much of a break. But it's a lot of joy here, and I know the dogs like it. I know their parents love having them here, so it's a blessing, any way you look at it. So I want to share channel stats with everyone first, and then I just have a couple of fun, like weird news stories that I'm going to share with you. And it is an open panel today, so once I've got that done, if anyone would like to come up and talk about the happenings at their channel, at their homestead, at their studio, if you've got a funny back to school experience that you want to share with us, or just come talk about what's going on in your life. If you have a birthday coming up, if you want to, I don't know, we're just here to chat and talk about this and that today. So let's share the screen to go over the channel stats first. Let's get that going. All right, I'm going to take myself off the screen and let's get this rolling. All right, our friends Nina and Boyce, Texas neighbors, are at 883 today. These are subscriber counts. If you're new here, these are subscriber counts. Oh, I just now saw Lee's comment. Yeah, and I think that's how it should be, y'all. That's how it should be. I'm gonna take a detour here from talking about the stats right quick, because I'm a member in a Facebook group, and it's an international group. So maybe you in the chat or somebody that's going to watch after the stream ends is also in this group. It's called Pet Vet Corner. Only licensed veterinarians can respond to requests for information or second opinions or clarification or, help. Only vets. Doesn't mean that people don't still try to put their 2 cents worth in. And some of the people that request help are so incredibly rude and disrespectful that I have no idea what would motivate these vets to volunteer their time and expertise to the page. It's ridiculous. And so that's part of what I wanted to get off my chest about this group, because I read, things that might be happening with another person or another person's dog. You can learn through it. You don't have to go through it yourself to learn from it. Some people I think do. But again, I don't know that I could do it, because half the time, and that's being generous to say half the time, the people that post in the group needing help, it's obvious to me they don't even deserve to have pets. I've seen, people will share images or videos of whatever it is that's happening with their dog or cat. I don't think I've seen any other animals besides dogs and cats right now. And you would think that common sense alone would let the people know it's bad. You need to go to the emergency vet. This is bad. It's bad. You don't have to know anything about veterinary medicine or medicine at all, or wounds or some of these things. I can't even that these people will post these horrible, horrible pictures of an animal that has got to be in excruciating pain, or they're at death's door, and the people they don't know what to do. And can you give me some advice? Is there something I can put on his leg? Is there something I can give him so he won't be in pain? Now, again, that's like 50%, generous to say 50%. But then the site is also used for what I would think is its legitimate purpose. People will, they take the dog in, they do the blood work and stuff, and the doctor might say, yeah, I want to recheck in. Maybe the dog doesn't have an appetite, or it's something that's not like you should just know by looking. Hey, Tiffany at Canadian Family Life, thanks for being here. And then they'll post the picture of the like the lab results and stuff, and they'll say, my doctor said his liver levels are high or something, and do I need to ask more questions? He just wants to see him back in a week. And I'm just making this up because I can't think of anything specific. And then the vets will, take turns commenting and saying, his levels are high, but they're not like, it's not like a dangerous situation. It makes sense that your vet said he just wants to recheck him. Be sure and stay away from, these kind of foods, or, whatever. They'll offer that kind of advice. 9 times out of 10, the vets will, for the people that haven't already been to the vet and they're sharing, this is what my doctor said, or here's the x-rays, they think it's this. Do you see that? Or what does that mean? And what do we need to do? So 9 times out of 10, the vet's reaction, which is, it makes sense to me, again, common sense. And I would imagine that for liability issues, it makes sense that 9 times out of 10, the vets will say, we can't really tell you anything from looking at a picture, or we can't tell you anything just from the list of symptoms. Your dog needs to be seen by a vet. I would have to put my hands on this dog and listen to this dog. And that doesn't bother me quite as much. I think too, that as long as I've had dogs, there might also be things. I've never had to use the page, knock on wood, but I do think there might be things too that if I was kind of curious or maybe a little bit concerned, but it wasn't an open wound or a limb that's about to fall off or a mass bigger than the dog's head. Oh my gosh, it's just ridiculous, y'all. That I might also post, something simple. Like, my dog's really tired today, or I don't know. I can't think of anything specific, and I don't want to, violate some kind of page standards by sharing a specific example with you. But I might do that too if it was something simple, or my dog hasn't been interested in eating, because a lot of people will post stuff like that, and the vets will say things like, sometimes they get tired of their food, you might need to mix it up, or sometimes the heat, if you're in a place where it's really hot right now, sometimes they eat a little less. And so it's something, it's not emergent, it's not a serious issue. But I just can't, even with the people that literally will post these horrible pictures of mutilated animals that even they're describing in the post that their animal, he's in so much pain and he's vomiting and he can't stand up and he won't eat and he's not drinking and he hasn't peed since 2 days ago, but they haven't taken him to the vet. I don't know what that's about. So I'm going to get off of that train now, because I just had to get that out of me, because I make the mistake every morning of opening up Facebook, and there's tons of posts from that page because I follow it. And I'm telling you, 50%, generous to say 50%, is that kind of stuff. So kudos to those vets. If for some weird reason one of you vets at Pet Vet Corner comes across this video, God bless you. God bless you. And I'm sending you strength and tolerance vibes, because I don't know how you do it. There was somebody that this morning when I looked, one of the vets said, this is going to be harsh. I can't even remember again what the post was about. And I was so glad for what that vet posted. Oh, it's about a puppy that someone just got, and he was just diagnosed with parvo. And I haven't seen the response from the person, but the vet just flat out said, this is absolutely unacceptable if you have not vaccinated your puppy. Anyway, so let's move on. It is Friday. Hallelujah. It's a holiday weekend. Hello to Karen Vasquez Woolcock. Thank you for being here. Yes, I'm so excited. It has been a while. Hey, Dee from Homestead in the Wood with Dee. Good to have you guys here. So let's go back now to the task at hand, which was to share channel stats with you all. And I think I only got Nina and Boyce at Rooted in Texas done. So these are subscriber counts, not the only way to check how your channel is doing or growing, but it's a fun and easy way to see how many people are connecting with you. So they're at 883. Ordered steps, holding on to 1320 something. My friend Akashi Chris at Mind Forked is at 477. My friend Byron, another Texas neighbor of ours, again, Byron has been here to Rich Cat Ranch to have dinner with us and meet all of the animals and hang out and spend the day. He's about an hour and a half away from us. He's at 1,680 something still. My friend Joe Hupp in Australia is at 325. He usually pops into the chat toward the end of the stream, so we'll see if we see him today. My friends Jesse and Lisa, more Texas neighbors of ours that I have yet to meet, are at, from Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa, are at 1,530 something today. They just made an announcement on their channel. They will be participating in the September, I think, that Mennonite Farmhouse hosts every year. So be watching for that. The way these collaborations work, you watch all the videos that the contributing channels have uploaded as part of the collaboration. You comment on the videos, like the videos, all the things, all the YouTube things, share the videos. And by commenting on each of the videos, and it can't be a copy paste comment. So each video that you comment on, it's got to be a unique comment related to that particular video. And then at the end of the video, I think a week after all the videos have played, there are 29 or 30, obviously, videos to go up because there's at least one every day. And then a week or so after the videos have all gone up, there is a prize drawing. And so if you have been faithful in commenting on the videos in the collaboration, you are eligible to win a prize. So it's a fun thing to do. I will be participating in Croctober again this year, and that'll work the same way. But check out September from the Mennonite Farmhouse, Leanne over at Mennonite Farmhouse. Great channel, lots of learning opportunities, and a lot of great recipes. Hello, P-Hop. Thanks for being here today. So now, they are at 1,530. Butler Family Farm, that is Jerry and Susan. But Jerry's in the chat today, so you guys be sure and say hi to him. They are at 1,840 something today. And then my friend David Hunt is at 620. As always, all of the channels that I'm sharing information about today, I'm asking as a favor to me, and just as a way to expand your own horizons here on YouTube, that you visit all of these channels. Go and visit them. I'd like to remind people that if you like what you see and you want to support the channel by subscribing, be sure that you watch a video or two that's at least 3 minutes long. Each video needs to be at least 3 minutes long. Watch it all the way through. Leave a comment, like the video. Again, do all the things before you subscribe, because YouTube has a habit of taking away subscribers. A lot of these numbers, when you see them drop, it's because somebody, maybe they watched a short and subscribed, but then they never watched any other videos. And so over time, YouTube cleans house and they just take away the videos that, the subscribers that aren't really engaging with the channel by watching more content and liking and commenting and sharing videos. But everyone I talk about when I do my spreadsheet, I really encourage you to go and check them out, show them some support, and just do it the YouTube way when you subscribe so that they don't find themselves sliding backwards. So Lee at First Floor Audio, who is in the chat today, an amazing musician, a generous, friendly, helpful, loving man. You will not be disappointed when you hang out and listen to what he does for his viewers during his live streams. It's become harder and harder for me to hang out at anybody's live streams lately, but I do need to start visiting again. And we had an amazing show the day that Lee was on for his interview on the Roundup. One of my most watched Roundups ever. You can also go back, because all of the people that you see that we talk about today, let's see if that's true. I have not interviewed Joe Hupp. I have not interviewed Byron at 12 Stones Ranch yet. I don't know why. So not everybody that's a channel member has been interviewed on the show. Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead have. David Hunt has. Jerry and Susan at Butler Family Farm has. Akashi Chris at Mind Fork has. But then all of these Roundup guests that are not channel members, they have been guests on the show. They've been interviewed on the show. So you can go back and see their interviews. If you want to get to know them a little bit better than you might know just from watching their videos, you can go back and watch their interviews. And I would love for you to do that. I have a playlist even of all the Rich Cat Ranch Roundups. You can go back and play that playlist for me, which is very much appreciated. Any channel on YouTube loves it when you run their playlists. Lots of reasons for that, but when you can, crank up a playlist for some of these channels. Hello, Paradox Fossils. Alan, how are you? Thanks for being here. Let's see, back to this. My friend Adam Sky, also in the UK, is at 351 subscribers today. Back to Country Homestead, Jeff and Lorena, some Texas neighbors of ours, are at 788. My friend Amanda at Bare Bones Living is still at 761. My friend Brian, Bearded Eagle, is at 1,340 something today. My friend Ashley at CNC Farm is at 2,140 something today, and still needs watch hours last I heard. So again, great opportunity for you to support a channel by cranking up a playlist. As I've said before, you don't have to be sitting in front of the computer to watch it. If you have a computer or a tablet or something, just go start the playlist, let it run. You can do other things or watch other stuff or work, do whatever work you do on your computer, and just have that running in the background. You do have to have the volume on. It can be very low, but you do have to have the volume on. Don't ask me how YouTube supposedly knows if you're muting the videos, but they do, and I'm sure that's true because that's today's technology. Tiffany at Canadian Family Life, who is in the channel today, she has taken off, y'all. She is blowing and going. It was just within the last couple of weeks, I think, that she hit 1,500 subscribers. She's at almost 1,600 subscribers today. Again, lots of great stuff, lots of learning opportunities, recipes, time with her family. So you guys go check her out. Again, if you like what you see, be sure you do it the YouTube way to watch a couple of 3-minute or more videos before subscribing. My friend Heather at Come Hither with Heather, also in Australia, is holding on to her 1,030 something subscribers. My friend Danielle at Danny Days Ahead is holding on to her 1,080 subscribers. And congrats to Danny, because she just got married last Friday. I didn't even know that was in the works. They got married, I think, at like a Justice of the Peace or just the county courthouse, but they will have a wedding. I think they picked a November date for their wedding. So I'm sure we will get to see some video and images of that when it comes. But you guys go over to Danny's channel and congratulate her and check out some videos while you're there. My friend Dawn Ray B is at 541. Brittany and Big K at Flannel Hill Farm are at 273. Jen and Steve at Good Times Homestead with Jen and Steve are at 1,030 something. My friend John at Home Bartending with John is at 402. My friend Peter Tragos at Lawyer You Know, I don't guess I'll ever stop being surprised at this number. And when I forgot, I told y'all I was going to go back and look to see what he was at when he was on the show. It wasn't 200 something thousand. Let me tell you that. So great stuff there. He is in the Tampa area. So I sent him a message. I haven't heard back from him, but he's still live streaming. And I think he was even live streaming like the night of the landfall for Hurricane Idalia. So must be okay there. They didn't get hit in Tampa with Hurricane Ian last year, but they got a lot of water with Hurricane Nicole that happened shortly after Ian. And if I understand correctly, that was the biggest threat for Tampa this year, was just water and flooding. So, but it looks like everything is okay there because he has not missed a beat with doing his live streams. My friend Katie at Mayfield Ranch is holding on to her 1,190 something subscribers. Millionaire Paul at Millionaire Paul, the Millionaire Challenge, is at 297 today. Tammy at Mountain Grandma is at 899. Tiffany at Mud and Mascara Homestead is at 533. My friend Nick, another Texas neighbor of ours, haven't met him yet either. They are a couple of hours west of us, and he is at 1,060 something today. My friend Ginger at Not For Nothing Homestead, holding on to her 1,040 subscribers. Ryan and Devin at Our New Land, still doing amazing things growth wise at their channel. They're at 5,190. I just love to remind you guys that there is an amazing story there for these brothers. It's amazing. I'm not going to spoil it by telling you. I just encourage you to go to their channel, learn about them, listen to their story, and they do a lot of teachable things too. So they're getting some property ready in Oklahoma. They are Texas neighbors of ours right now, but the goal is that the whole family is going to live on this big property up in Oklahoma. So they're getting it ready for that. That in itself is interesting and enjoyable, but their personal story is amazing. You guys have to go check them out. My friend Nancy at Our Treasured Home is at 1,030 something today. And I just want to give a shout out for Nancy because she always shares that I have a live stream coming up. I mean, to say thank you to her does not seem sufficient, but those little things mean a lot to content creators. And so I just want to take a minute here to thank her on the stream. And she usually pops into the chat here and there too. So maybe we will see her a little later today. You guys check out her channel. My friend Steven, Texas neighbor of ours, haven't met him, but he was a guest on the show. He's at 332 today. Still no new activity on the channel in the last 3 or 4 months. And I have not heard back from him after reaching out just to make sure that everything is okay. So I'll keep you posted on that. My friend Shane in Canada at Paralife TV, your everyday wheelchair ninja, is at 2,050 something subscribers today. My friend John Pedroza at Pedroza Travel in California is at 1,130 something subscribers today. My friend Vicky Lund at Psychology Noir with Dr. Lund is holding on to her 1,040 subscribers today. Wes and Jess at Rich New Design are at 537. Ronnie and Brittany at Ronnie and Brittany RB Story, some more California friends of ours, are at 750 today. My friend David and Texas neighbor, Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion, is at 2,910. That's a nice, healthy jump right there, y'all. My friend Shannon at Shanster Travels is at 700. My friend Sparrow Spalding is at 1,450 something today. Kenny and Debbie at The Adventures of Kenny and Debbie are at 783. My friend Angela at The Inquisitive Farm Wife is at 1,940 something subscribers. My friend Dino at The Late Late Horror Show is at 114,000 something subscribers. And then check this out. My friend Tom Salta, I don't know. I don't see that there was a new video that did it because I don't see a new video that had a lot of views. But Tom Salta is now at 2,820 something subscribers. For those of you that saw the show where I interviewed Tom, I had terrible audio difficulties that day on my end. And Tom kind of just managed the stream for me. He entertained everyone and answered questions from the chat and talked about his award-winning career. Y'all, he is an award-winning multi-genre, multimedia musician. His primary claim to fame is that he writes video game music, including games that even if you're not a gamer, you will have heard this music, and including my favorite, Halo. I'm a Halo junkie, or I'm a recovering Halo junkie. And he has written some of the music for the Halo franchise, for the Ghost Recon franchise, two of my favorite game franchises. And it's just amazing. It's amazing stuff. So you guys, please check him out. He also has a website. So I think if you go to his Facebook page, it'll link you to his website where you can go and listen to some of his music. He does have a lot of his stuff here on YouTube too, though. But check that out. And I'm just going to have to send him a message because that just when I checked these numbers this morning, I thought I was looking at that wrong. That's amazing. That's wonderful. My friends John and Sarah at Two Doves, Bees, and Gardens are at 1,720 something today. The Vineyard Chicks are at 4,640 something today. My friend Ralph at Webb's Web is still at 1,040 something today. My friend Robin at What the Flock is at 587. And Steve Robson at Wild Macro Art is holding on to his 24 subscribers, not actively growing his channel. So that does not concern me. His primary focus is Facebook, but there's just some great stuff to see still at his channel and at his Facebook page. So check that out. All right, let's stop sharing that. And let me see if I missed anyone in the chat. I hope not. If so, greetings to all. Thanks to those who are here watching live, and then thanks to those who are part of the rewatch crew that will see this after the stream ends. Let's see. I didn't tell y'all what the temperature is today. Let me tell you what the temperature is today. If you missed meeting the dogs that are staying with us, you're going to have to run the stream back to see them because these little cavapoos. So the little dogs are cavapoos. It's only 95 degrees today with a feels like of 97 because, again, it's not quite so humid. And I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm ready for the 70 and 80 degree days. I get really whiny in the winter too. You know, I'm not a fan of extreme temperatures in either direction. But right now it feels almost cool because it was, 108 and 110 so many days in a row that I'm happy about 95 degrees. Your day is coming, Lee. We just got to get the word out. You guys need to go check out Lee. He writes his own music. I mean, he plays some stuff too that you will have heard that other people wrote, but he writes his own music. I've written a few songs in my life, but it's not anything I've ever really devoted myself to. It was just special occasion stuff. First song I ever wrote was like in the 6th grade, and I don't remember what it was for. We had a little like awards presentation or something coming up, and I think our music teacher said something about writing a song. So I wrote a song. I wasn't playing the piano yet at that point. Well, I mean, I could play by ear, but I couldn't read music. I didn't know about music theory, so I had to sing it for my piano teacher so that she could write the notes down. And then the next time I wrote a song was for our Twerp King ceremony in high school. We did a thing every year. We had a Sadie Hawkins dance where the girls had to the girls had to ask the guys out. I know that's not a big, weird thing now, but there was a time in history, y'all, when it wasn't kosher for a girl to ask a boy out. It was supposed to be the boy that asked the girl out. Again, I'm about to turn 61. I've seen a lot of things change in my life. And so there was always this Sadie Hawkins Day, and we had a Sadie Hawkins dance, and the girls invited a boy to the dance. And then we had a ceremony where we would crown a twerp king, TWIRP. I don't remember what that word really means. I'm going to look that up right quick. That's a throwback word to like the 50s or something. And we would crown a twerp king. And so one year I was asked to write the Twerp King ceremony song. Twerp King. Oh, twerp. Definition of twerp. A silly, insignificant, or contemptible person. Twerp. Oh, let's see. Oh, I should have copied that for y'all. Oh, well, you'll just have to trust me on it. A silly, insignificant, or contemptible person. John Stedman was the twerp king that year that I wrote the song. And then the next time I wrote a song was for, I want to say it was for like the Special Olympics. They were going to be in Dallas. Was it Special Olympics? And this would have been back like in 1985 or so. I'll have to look that up. And so I wrote a song and submitted it for that. It wasn't chosen as the song. And all I can remember about the song, I have it on cassette tape here somewhere. I only remember that the name of the song was Because of Who You Are. I liked it. It turned out nice. Um, yeah, this is interesting about Lee, y'all. He's a self-taught musician. Can't read the music, but has taught himself. He plays the piano, he plays the drums, he plays the guitar. I'm sure there's something else you play that I just don't remember right now. And has taught himself how to do all of those things. So, for the most part, I'm a self-taught pianist because I played for ear by ear for years and years before my parents got me 6 months of piano lessons in the seventh grade, and that's when I learned to read music and just learned about music theory, which certainly comes in handy because my favorite thing to play was always classical music. I'm a huge Chopin fan. And I don't know that those pieces are so complicated. I don't know that I could have just heard that and reproduced it on the piano without being able to read the music on paper. But again, aside from the 6 months of piano lessons, I just had to learn the hard way myself. But Lee goes above and beyond because he's got multi instruments under his belt. Um, okay, so that's all about that. I don't even remember, how did we get to talk about that? Oh, because Lee said he didn't have a claim to fame yet, so it's coming. You guys can help that happen. Hint, hint, hint. So now let me share with you the first funny story in the news. I think this should be queued up. Okay, yeah. Hang on. Let me. Oh, wait. I don't want it to play yet. Okay, let me share my screen. And I just did a little search for strange but true stories in the news. I put this week, but I don't know that these stories are from this week. Oh, wrong button. So here's just a fun one. This seems like something I would see around my neck of the woods. I don't know that I've seen it, but it sure seems like it would be a possibility. All right. So let's share. Oops. Let's share this. And let me know if you can hear it. All right, that's the first of the weird stories. I hope you got, well, I mean, there wasn't talking, there was music. Hopefully, it was not copyrighted music. So if you go back and watch this stream later and that's not there, get rid of this one. All right. If you go back and that's not there, it's because I had to cut it out if I get a flag from YouTube. And then the next one I want to share with you, let's pull this up. And this is just it. It's not a funny story. This was new to me, so I'm going to be reading you the story while I'm showing you these pictures. So we're going to try to make that work. Hang on, now I got to pull up the story. Okay. Oh, I read through it already. Now I got to go back to the beginning. All right. So this says, step inside the world's only nuclear powered passenger ship built in 1959. Did anyone else know about, can you hear me? Let me make sure you can hear me. Let's see, how do we do this? Oh, let's see, let me do this. All right, I want to be sure you guys can hear me. Okay, and now let me get back to the story. So this is about the world's only nuclear-powered passenger ship built in 1959. Deep inside, oops, I got to pull this back up. Deep inside the port of Baltimore, past stacks of shipping containers and a plant that makes wallboard, sits the world's first and only nuclear-powered cruise ship, the NS Savannah. The Savannah is the only nuclear-powered merchant ship the U.S. ever built and the only nuclear vessel in the world designed with passengers in mind. So when the opportunity, this is just this NPR guy saying when the opportunity came to do a tour, he jumped at the chance. This picture here, the caption is that the Savannah has been moored in a Baltimore port since 2008. Last fall, its nuclear reactor was removed as part of its decommissioning. Let me see what the date is. Okay, the date of this article is June 23rd of this year, so it's pretty current. And then the next picture, the NS Savannah, as it arrived in San Francisco on November 18th, 1962. Savannah's origin story began in the darkest days of the Cold War. In December of 1953, the very future of the world seemed to be in question. The Soviet Union had just detonated its first thermonuclear weapon. A year before, the United States had tested its own 10 megaton device on a remote Pacific island. The blast was so powerful, it wiped the island from the face of the earth. In a speech before the United Nations, then President Dwight D. Eisenhower acknowledged the peril facing the world, but he refused to accept the atom's only purpose was to vaporize mankind. The United States knows that peaceful power from atomic energy is no dream of the future, Eisenhower told the assembled diplomats. The capability already proved is here today. This picture is the interior of the Savannah remains a time capsule of the mid-century era in which it operated. The main lobby of the cruise ship welcomed paying passengers from 1962 to 1965. By the end of the decade, the U.S. government had built the Savannah as part of a program known as Atoms for Peace, which sought to demonstrate the good that nuclear energy could do. The ship was launched in 1959, and its 74 megawatt nuclear reactor was powered up in 1961. This is Edward Kohler in this picture, the senior technical advisor for the ship, as he climbs the passenger staircase from the lobby to the lounge area. Anybody could buy a ticket, says Erhard Kohler. And for those of you, I don't know if that's German or Dutch. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that name, Kohler, but that's how I'm saying it. The senior technical advisor for the Savannah at the U.S. Department of Transportation's Maritime Administration, which owns the ship. The ship was more of a proof of concept than an actual cruise ship. It could carry just 60 passengers, and it also had cargo holds for transporting goods. Still, Kohler says, the ship was popular. It was fully booked throughout its history. That history was brief. Savannah only carried passengers from 1962 to 1965. And these images, this says the ship's lounge overlooked a small swimming pool and sported a bar. That's what this picture is. It's near the pool, and there's the bar. The bar's wine rack was inspired by the chart of nuclides. I don't know what that is, which it says is on the bottom left, which would be over here on the left. Clocks gave the time in locations around the world, a nod to the Savannah's international mission. Kohler says the decision to stop carrying passengers wasn't about safety, it was economic. If you stopped carrying passengers, you could reduce the number of stewards and reduce the cost of the program, he says. This caption reads, a tight hallway leads to the passenger rooms. Also on the ship, a swimming pool, a hospital bay equipped to perform surgery, and a barber shop. Kohler says the Savannah was fully booked throughout its history. The ship did see plenty of other visitors. Over its history, Savannah traveled to some 45 foreign ports in 26 countries. It's estimated that well over 1 million people boarded the ship to see its nuclear reactor at work. To facilitate the visitors, the Savannah sported an unusually large galley. When it was in port, They would serve 500 to 700 people in a meal, Kohler says. While the Savannah's nuclear reactor was revolutionary, the rest of the ship was actually unremarkable for the time it was built. It wasn't very state of the art, he says. It's really a time capsule of what was the norm in the U.S. Merchant Marine in the 1950s and 60s. And in this picture, the bridge would send orders to the reactor control room, which would change the power output of the nuclear core as needed. Kohler takes me down to the reactor control room. It's located below in the forward section of the ship. It's controlled by it controlled a pressurized water reactor that used low enriched uranium to produce heat. That heat was turned into steam that could run the ship's turbines, spinning the propeller and also producing electricity. The Savannah could cruise at 20 knots, which is similar to the speed of most cruise ships today. For this picture, it says from an observation deck, passengers could look down into the engine room and watch the reactor control room operators at work. We come down past the enormous turbines that once turned Savannah's propeller. The reactor control system is well lit. It's a small, one-of-a-kind system that allowed the ship's engineers to manage the reactor's power output as it plied the seas. Notably, the control room lacks any chairs. By and large, engineers in the 60s stood their watch. They didn't sit, Kohler says. The operators could also command an emergency shutdown or scram of the reactor core. Scrams were rare aboard the Savannah, but one did take place in 1964 when the ship passed through a hurricane. A backup auxiliary motor run off diesel power kept the ship going while engineers restarted the reactor. Back in the ship's main lobby, Kohler shows me a small wooden cube. It represents the volume of uranium needed to fuel the Savannah to let it travel 454,000 nautical miles, enough to circumnavigate the world well over a dozen times. Traveling the same distance with conventional fuel would have required approximately 28 million gallons of it. Wow, so it's hard to get scale. Let me see what the caption says. A wooden block in the main lobby illustrates the amount of uranium fuel needed to sail around the world more than a dozen times. I just wish that had some scale. But, I mean, when I look at it, it looks, like maybe a 5x5 or 5x6 little box, right? Anybody know enough about uranium to tell me how big that probably is? But despite its dazzling efficiency, Savannah was never economically viable. It required special fuel handling facilities to load and unload its nuclear core, and decommissioning the ship has taken decades and cost far more than it could have ever made moving cargo or people. And that's the final picture, I think, right there. Oh, no, that's not the final one. The NS Savannah has never sailed again. In the 80s and 90s, it was berthed at the Patriots Point Naval and Maritime Museum in South Carolina before being put into storage. Decommissioning of the ship's nuclear components began in 2017. In November of last year, its reactor was removed and taken to Utah for disposal. Kohler says full decommissioning of the ship's nuclear components will take another 2 years or so. At that point, the Maritime Administration can dispose of the Savannah, Kohler says, but he hopes it will be protected. Our objective is not to see the ship preserved. Is to see the ship preserved somehow. And so, there's that story. Okay, why is that saying? Okay, I hope I'm still here. I closed the wrong window. Go figure. It must be these sleepless nights I'm getting now because there's so many dogs in the bed. But I just thought that was really interesting because I didn't know there were any. Uh, I didn't know there were any nuclear passenger ships. I know there are nuclear submarines, but I didn't know there were nuclear passenger ships. And I think I just heard someone come into the. Hang on, I heard someone come into the green room. It's Jerry. Let's bring Jerry up, and we'll let Jerry talk to us about what's going on at his channel, at his homestead, and any other interesting tidbits he can share with us. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good. What's happening?
Oh, not a whole lot. We're going to start going live at 5:30 on Mondays.
Okay.
From 5:30 to roughly 7.
Okay.
We're going to do our live from around the farm.
Okay. Will both of you be on probably?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll do it together.
Okay.
So we're going to.
From around the farm, like outside, we'll get to see stuff?
Yep.
Okay.
Out with the goats, out with the cows, out with the horses.
Okay.
Out with the donkeys, out and about.
Awesome. And
so we figured that, with 116 acres, we can be on a different acre every time, and we can be there for 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we get that way people get to see the actual farm itself.
Yeah. So tell folks when they start watching what they can expect as far. I mean, I know you mentioned some of the animals already, but tell us what kind of animals and
well, we have cows.
Okay.
Running about 23 mama cows and one bull. So we have 18 babies out there. So we'll be out with the cows and different parts of the fields, different fields. We'll be doing one from the goat area and probably from the calf area where we keep the calves. And we're doing it probably from the hunting shed, my hunting shack that we have. We'll probably do one from there. So you can see the view that we have from up there.
Okay.
Just different places. Maybe one from Susan's garden, one from the chicken area. One from my son's blacksmith shop.
Okay.
So we're just trying to mix it up with. We decided we needed to start doing a live from people who are telling us that. I don't know if you heard, but Scott from Ramblin' Brahms, Jesse's friend, he says that you need to do if you do 2 lives, 2 shorts, and 2 videos a week that YouTube will put you out more.
Yeah, well, and it's great for watch hours.
I'm monetized, so we're not really about watch hours. So,
okay.
We just watch views, and we get lots of views.
Okay.
So, get them, boys, get them.
Richard's home. The dogs are making an announcement. Oh, thank you, Texas Born and Raised. Thank you. Love to you too. Very nice.
On the 16th, we're doing a monetization celebration where we're going to be doing a little giveaway.
Okay.
And
we have what time of the day?
We're going to start it at 1 o'clock. It's a Saturday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
So we're going to start it.
Now, do you still do the live that you do? A bunch of you guys get together and.
I pop in with Jesse and Scott once in a while, and I pop in with Devil Dog and Gary once in a while. But when I had the surgery, it kind of,
you were out
put me down a little bit, and so it was hard to stay up till 11, 12 o'clock at night with Gary and Eddie. So I just kind of cut that out, and I went live at the Ozark Homesteader. Last weekend, but I had problems with that. It didn't connect because they have AT&T over there, and Verizon wouldn't stay connected. And the phone got hot, so I did a video and I put it out yesterday. But it was yesterday. It came out. Or Wednesday it came out.
Okay.
And then we're going to on the 9th, which is next Saturday. We're leaving here next Friday to go to Alabama for the Petals in the Past.
Okay.
And that's put on with Codtail Farms and Ann Dale will be there. Jesse's going. Gary Beltloop will be there. Danny Day will be there with Terry.
Okay. Where are you going to stay?
We're staying at the. It's called the Clinton Inn or the Shiloh Inn. There's I think it's a Shiloh restaurant or something like that. That's right there in the hotel area.
Okay.
So we're all staying. Most of us are staying there.
Okay. When I think of Alabama, so I lived in Gulfport, Mississippi for 4 years once upon a time.
It's in Clayton.
Okay. Well, I remember, though, when I think of Alabama, I think it was Mobile. Well, a couple of things happened in Mobile. First was the back-to-back Lord of the Rings director's cut movies that happened on the day of the premiere for the Return of the King, the third installment, an all-day movie thing with prizes. The New Line Cinema people were there, so that was awesome. But there's also a restaurant down there, and I don't remember what it's called, but they throw rolls at you.
That happens also in Neosho. I mean, in Ozark. That's Lambert's.
Okay, and I don't remember if that might be the same restaurant that's down there. But when I think of Alabama, I think of Mobile, and I think of those two.
I think that's the same company. They only have two. They have one in the Ozarks, and they do the same thing.
Okay.
And usually you have to wait like an hour to 2 hours to get in.
Oh yeah, I mean, and the food was great, but it really was funny that you would need more bread, more rolls, and they literally will from across the restaurant throw the rolls at you. I think it's a funny little gimmick. So.
The Petals of Past is there's a nursery down there, and actually the nursery's in Jemerson.
Okay.
I always figure out to remember the names.
Okay.
It's in Jemerson, and it's a one-day thing. It's basically a one-day YouTube meetup.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of YouTubers there, and you go through the nursery, is what I understand. So we'll find out. This will be our first year.
Okay.
And then on the October, we got Pinecone Fest.
Right.
Which we'll be going to that one. And I'll be doing. I'm going to be trying to do lives at both of these.
Okay.
So
for those who go, they can experience it through you.
Right. A lot of people have dubbed me as the live Jerry. I go live at 10 Keller. I'm live at Simple Jan's Ozark meetup. And so that I've got the reputation. I'll go live wherever I go. So, and I'll do it. I don't mind. I mean, I got a battery for my phone, little backup for my phone. I can keep my phone charged, and as long as it doesn't get too hot and the phone doesn't shut off, I'll stay live.
I think that's a great thing to be known for.
Well, I better be known for something worse.
Well, true. Yeah, that's right. It could always be worse.
And that down the Pinecone. If you don't show up at Pinecone, I'm trying to talk my wife into swinging by your place.
Okay, and tell me again what the dates are. I'm going to look at my calendar right now.
I think it's the 13th, 14th, and 15th, or the 12th, 13th. So we're going to be there on the 12th. So it's the 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Okay, so we right now do not have borders scheduled here. So
I don't know how far that is from you. Is it probably what 2-3 hours?
East Texas, out near Tyler.
It's in Mount Vernon area.
Yeah, that's probably 2.5-3 hours from here.
Okay.
Not that that's a problem. I don't mind driving.
No, I mean, if you can't make it, I want to swing by on our way home.
Oh, we'd love it.
Come by and see you.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try to go, but if not, then you guys come and I'll cook you something. I'll make one of my famous dishes. You can come taste some of my food.
We're going to leave it up to us. Being retired, we don't have to be back on Sunday. We can come back.
Right.
Come so far and stop for the night. Find a hotel, spend the night, and come the rest of the next day, or whatever. But
awesome. That would be So any way it goes, it's going to be great.
Right.
Awesome.
And when we go to the Petals of the Past on the 9th of September, if Shirley from Just Doing Our Best can't make it, we're swinging by her place on the way home.
Okay.
To see her, and I'm hoping to also meet up with Chris from R Square Country.
Awesome. I'm thinking now, wouldn't that be a fun, like RV road trip plan to go around and meet some of these other
we're glampers now. We're no longer campers.
Okay.
We stay at hotels.
Okay.
We don't do the sleeping in rooms. My wife was talking the other day, but we're staying at a Windstream at the Pinecone Fest. So she said, maybe we should buy a Windstream. I always like to have one of the Windstreams. I'm like, really? But we used to do a lot of camping when we had when we lived in California, because we own a bunch of gold claims.
Okay.
And we used to go to the gold claims in a club. We used to go out there every weekend to a different gold claim and process for gold.
Okay, fun.
So we had a camper, so we did a lot of boondocking. So we in fact, when we moved here in our camper and lived in it for like 3 weeks before we got a house.
Okay.
And in that camper we had 6 dogs and 4 cats. Plus the 3 of us. So we kind of like don't want cramping anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You deserve to have some space at this point. Yeah.
Right. So that's what we were doing. So, but anyways, that's basically on my channel, and I've gotten to 1846 now.
Okay.
So
Nice. Yeah,
it
I
just
know it
keeps
was
picking up every
1847.
day, a couple channels here and there, and every once in a while I'm part of the Filipino community,
Okay.
and I know several people in the Filipino community. And I go in and see them and talk to them and stuff, and they, I don't know what they do. They put your name out or whatever, and I jump sometimes 100.
Wow.
So I don't know. They call them bananas, but they get you subscribers, and they all support you. They watch my
Nice.
shorts and my videos, and I've gotten well, I got a short out the other day that has over 300 views on it, and I have one that 1,300.
Nice.
And I've got a couple that's over
Nice.
3,000, and they all put comments. And I feel sorry for Susan because she has to go through and she's
That's
the
fun.
one that goes put the comments back for everybody. I try to help her once in a while, but she likes to do it. So
Nice. No,
anyway,
that's awesome.
they
Yeah.
are they really good supporters.
Nice. I'm excited to see how you guys are growing.
Yeah, it's I was really pushing to get it done before I had the surgery,
Yeah.
and then after we got monetized, she goes, well, what we want to do a celebration, but we don't want to do it until probably September. And I said, okay. So we picked the date, and Jesse's going to help us
Okay, good.
with the giveaway and stuff. So we asked him what his good day with him. And the 16th is the only day that came up that we could all be there at the same time.
Okay, you guys mark your calendars.
And then also, I want to say to you, if you're thinking about a cruise, I don't know if you've seen the Jesse and Scott's cruise to Alaska in 2025.
I have. That is so hard to be away for that long.
Oh, I know, but you can't beat the price. You'll never be able to get a better price than what they've got. I guarantee it.
And there's still spots?
Oh yeah. They guarantee they have 30 cabins sold. And they're like, we're pushing that right now.
Okay.
But the guy who's in charge of it, his name's Terry, who's in charge of it, he says that he thinks we'll have closer to 100 people, 100 cabins.
Wow.
Actually, join in, because it's not just for YouTubers; it's anybody.
Okay.
It's not. They're not calling it a YouTube meetup. They're calling it a vacation.
Okay.
A family vacation. So anybody can come, family, kids, whatever, can come to it. It's just gonna be a lot of people who are creators will be there, but there's also a lot of supporters will be there.
Okay. Have you been to Alaska before?
Pardon me?
Have you been to Alaska before?
Well, I've been to Nome. I've actually worked on a gold claim in Nome before.
Okay.
So I have friends that have gold claims in Nome. So I've been to Nome. I've been to Juneau. I had friends of mine that lived in Juneau that I went there duck hunting and brought home 18 ducks when I went up there duck hunting. So yeah, I've been to Alaska. But this is gonna be different because I'm not gonna have to do anything.
Yeah. It's just vacation. Yeah.
Yeah. And Susan and I never had a honeymoon.
Okay.
When we got married, because she had kids, and when we got married, so we never really got a honeymoon. We've never really been on a vacation together, because when we were in San Diego, I take a vacation. It was a working vacation. Okay. I come home, take that week off, and I'd be working on the house or working on the yard or something. So we never really ever had a vacation where you go and actually rest.
Right.
Okay. And we'll be married for 41 years when we go on the cruise.
Yeah. You need to be. Yeah, you need to be on that ship. Yeah.
So we need to we're gonna go, and we're just gonna relax, and we're not gonna rush to do anything, and it's just gonna have a nice, relaxing 7 days.
Awesome.
But that's what you gotta think about. And you had to seriously think about doing it, because you're not gonna be able to beat the price. The price isn't gonna go down very much.
Okay. And I'll look into that then. It at least gives me plenty of time to plan, so that the animals are covered, and I can block off boarding and sniff spot schedules and all of that. So
and Scott's got a real good deal. And Jesse, if you go and watch Scott or Jesse's videos, they talk about it. Plus, they've got a page on Facebook.
Okay.
It talks about it. You can go on to Facebook and you can answer 3 questions like that, and you can go in there and look at it. But it doesn't have to be paid till April of 2024.
Okay.
Which is actually, I can actually tell you the days, like 600 some odd days before it has to be paid for.
Okay.
It takes $250 per person down.
Okay.
Or $250 per person down.
Okay.
All right.
And then the balance due on the 20th.
Oh no, I'm sorry, $125 per person.
Okay.
And if you get to the right time, you can get $250 extra credit towards you.
Okay.
So, like when I booked it, I got $500 off.
Okay.
And if I don't know if Richard's a vet or not, but if you're a vet, there's a 10% discount for your vets.
Yeah, he's a veteran. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the key to it. If you can get all these different, I call them perks.
Okay.
And I'm trying to look at how many days they actually have before the cruise. I've got it on my phone type thing. It's
Okay.
723 days till we actually go on the cruise.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And
plenty of time to plan then.
it has to be paid in 603 days.
Okay.
So you got plenty of time to pay for it, and and you like I did. I told my wife we got our taxes back this year. We're taking it and putting it down on the cruise, and we did that.
Awesome.
And I'm getting ready to sell.
Karen. Yeah, thanks, Karen, for being here. It was so good to see you today. Okay.
So, I selling cows here pretty soon. We're going to take a couple thousand more of that and pay towards it. So
okay,
we'll have it paid off probably by the end of middle end of next year.
Okay.
So we'll be ahead of it. So
okay, yeah.
But, I mean,
too.
I know you talked about it, and it's to me, Alaska cruise is a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, not very many people can go more than once.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah.
And it only stops at 4 different ports, so it's not it's more of just a relaxing cruise and
okay,
and looking at because we're going to do the interior, so you're not really going to be way out to sea, so you're not going to do anything. It goes right along the coastline the whole time, and so you'll always be able to see land.
Yeah, I think that's what the Borders family. I think that's what they're doing is the interior.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going on the what's it called Encore is the name of the ship we're going on.
Oh, they're on a Royal Caribbean. Okay.
Ours is through NCL.
Radiance of the Seas, or
ours is through Norwegian, cruise line. So NCL. So I'm just going to encourage you because I mean, if anybody wants to go, if that's what you really want to do, this will be the best time and the best price you can get.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not getting any younger, so I need to get some of this bucket list stuff.
And I'm feeling it more every day. I went to bed last night at 8:30 because my knee was bothering me. I had worked on a baler all day. I was trying to get it fixed, and I finally got it back together. My son finally baled hay, and I went to bed at 8:30. So I didn't get it till 8 this morning. So.
I was going to ask you, where are you percentage-wise in your recovery since the surgery?
Okay, well, they say I've met my criteria.
Okay.
So I've got the 120% the bending and the 10% of straightening. I mean, it's never zero straightening, but my leg is still weak in spots. So certain things I can't really do very good. And that's what we're working on. Like going downstairs, I can go upstairs, no problem. Going downstairs is tricky. If I step wrong, I'll take a tumble. So I'm really cautious of. I'm not comfortable going downstairs,
Okay.
So I take one step at a time going downstairs, and we're working on that stuff. And I'm working on the strength of my legs again.
Good, good.
My wife says, I do stuff and I get tired. She says, yeah, well, you're gonna, you sat around for 10 weeks not doing a lot, so it's gonna take you a while to get built back up. So
heck yeah. And then tell me, maybe you'll talk about this on one of the lives. Where do the bees go in the winter?
In their hive, they stay in the hive.
Okay.
Now our bees that we have are not actually our bees because I'm allergic to bees.
Okay.
They're a friend of mine who brings them out, sets them all up, and he comes and tends to them. And we go out there. Susan will go out there and she records stuff that's going on.
Okay.
And when it comes to, he said like December, he'll pack them back up and he'll take them back to his house and he bundles them all really close together and then wraps them with a bunch of stuff to keep them, try not to lose any.
Okay.
And last year he said he only lost 10% of his hives last year.
Okay.
He had like 50 or 60 hives. So where he said the national average is like 30%.
Wow. Okay. So that's still good then.
Yeah. So then he said, I'll bring him back next, as soon as it starts to get sunny, like March, he'll bring him back and set him back up again. Then we'll be the honey again. They're kind of interesting. I wish I wasn't allergic to them because if I wasn't allergic to them, I would keep bees.
Okay.
But I get stung, I swell up like a balloon.
Yeah.
So, but I respect them and I watch them from afar. And we have this little porch pond. I don't know if you've seen the little porch pond where we put the fish back into the video. And bees come to the porch pond and they take water off the porch pond. They come to the waterfall. They land on it and they suck water up and they fly back to the hive. And I was sitting there watching these bees come in and I could see them flying back. And when the guy named Jess came over to talk about the bees, I said, hey, what is going on here? He said, oh, they're taking the water back to keep the hive cool when it was really hot. He goes, they put the water in and then they fan it, and
Air conditioner.
huh?
They're making air conditioner.
Making air conditioners. That's what it is.
Oh my
It's the
gosh.
first swamp cooler as far as I'm
Oh
concerned.
my gosh,
And
right.
that's why I said, oh, they're the designers of the swamp cooler.
How fascinating.
When it got really hot here, it's like 102, 103. There was like 7 or 8 bees at a time on the waterfall, sucking water up and flying back. And I sat there
How
watching for, I
interesting.
mean, it kind of sounds stupid, but I sat there watching for like 20, 30
No,
minutes,
it's so
flying back and
interesting.
forth, you know.
Yeah.
So he said, well, if you take a pan of water out and set it next to their hive, up off so animals can't get to it, they'll come to that pan of water, and if there's some salt in it, that ionized salt, they like that. They'll come
Okay.
that way. So we did that to them also. They still come back to the waterfall. Not as many, but they still go. But they go both places to get the water. But
How
you know,
interesting.
yeah, he said they also use the water for thinning out the honey. I
Okay.
said, oh. And it never really dawned on me before that bees, they need water too.
Yeah. Liquid. Yeah. Oh, how interesting.
So
Well, I'm just fascinated that they understand. I don't know what that science that is that makes air conditioners, but
I don't know, but it was interesting. It's interesting to watch them and interesting to see what they've been. Our hives have gotten bigger because he's added to them, and they've gotten bigger. So there'll probably be another video come out. Susan will probably record Monday or Tuesday this next week of him coming out again.
Okay, fine.
So,
all right.
But anyways, that's basically what's happening around here. I mean, we got babies all the time and sending cows off and getting more goats and
So you'll be live Labor Day Monday?
Yep. That will be our first live on Labor Day Monday, and then we're going to do it every Monday at 5:30, and we'll go to probably 6:30 or 7.
Okay.
Shirley, who just used to just doing your best on Monday at 6:00, she asked me if I would take over because she didn't want to. She's tired of being on live all the time. She said, I ran out of things to talk about.
Yeah.
And I said, well, okay, and I used to go in with her and try to help her because she didn't like being by herself.
Yeah.
So I'd go in and talk to her and talk about stuff. But she said, you mind taking over and doing some of that until I feel like doing it again? I said, sure, and when she decides she wants to do it, we'll just move ours to 5:00, go from 5 to 6, and then hers 6 to 7.
Okay, perfect. So I'll see you on Monday.
And we'll be looking for it. I'm hoping I can get everything working right now because I have had problems with StreamYard because I want to be able to have people come up when they come ask questions.
Okay.
So I was having problems, and Devil Dog helped me figure out the ups and downs with the StreamYard and YouTube together, so I could get it on my phone to do it right.
Okay. Nice.
But anyways, that's that happens here.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you came up and shared with us.
Glad to see you doing well.
Yeah, things are good. Aside from the heat, I don't have anything really at this moment to complain about.
Well, ours it's only 86 here. I don't want to brag, but it's only 86 here. It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I get up in the morning, so I still get up. I get up early so the dogs can play outside for an hour and a half or so before they eat, because I like to make them be still for a little while after they've eaten, because we've got German Shepherd dogs. They're so prone to bloat and that twisted up stomach. Yeah. And so they go out to play in the mornings, and it's been so nice. About the last week for sure that I go out in the mornings, it's only like 77, 78 degrees. And so we play outside till just before 9 o'clock when it starts getting about 90 degrees, 91, 93. Then they come in and eat and rest a little while. And then they just go out and do their bathroom breaks here and there because I don't want them out in the heat. But I'm loving it.
Earlier when you said that the dog slept with you, that cracked me up because my Great Dane sleeps with us. She sleeps in the middle of Susan and I, and she's stretched out. So she's like another body, another person in the bed, know. And she's her head on a pillow, and a leg across my neck,
Oh my gosh!
And recently we started letting the cats out of the bedrooms at night because we just lost one of our oldest cats. She was 17, and we had to have him put down on Monday.
Yeah.
And so I mean, he had kidney cancer and liver cancer and everything else, and he was, it was just better to put him down because he wasn't doing so well.
Yeah.
So we just recently let the cats out of the room. So now the cats are coming in. They're wanting to sleep on the bed with us too. And I got them sleeping between my legs or on my shoulder or next to my neck or something like that. So it's like, it's just like having your kids in bed.
Oh yeah. Well, the first night, so we've worked it out a little bit better over the last few nights. But the first night that I went to bed and they were all in it, they obviously forgot they got to leave room for humans to sleep. So it was like a fight to squeeze into a spot. But then the last couple of nights, it seems like they've kind of figured out, oh, okay, they just stay kind of on the edges. They
Well, they're
stay
doing
on the
better than mine
edges.
are, because
And
Susan will go to bed before me, and then the Great Dane will get in and lay next to her. Then the boxer gets in and lays in my spot, and the lab will lay on the end of the bed, and the cat will lay on the corner of the bed, and the cattle dog will sleep on the floor. And I come in and I have to tell the boxer to move over, and he sits there and growls at me. And I go, come on, just move over. He growls at me, And if I push him, he not snaps, but he goes at me,
Oh, yeah.
And finally he'll get up and move over, and I can get it. I kind of slither in bed and get my spot real quick. Because then as soon as you get settled in, they just start moving back over again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, y'all are just a good pack.
Yep.
You're just all packed together. That's awesome.
But anyways, as I see you again, I'm gonna let you go. Maybe somebody else come up. I don't know.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, and I will see you Monday at your live.
I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you.
Uh-huh.
Anybody else that wants to come watch us?
Yeah, you guys be there Monday.
All right.
Come over and hang out with us. All right, so I'm gonna let you go.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, Jerry. All right, who else wants to come up and say hi to me? Lee, if you're still here, I'd love for you to come up and say hi. Let people see your face if you're new to them. I know they've seen you in the chat lots of times, but and David, are you still here, David? You want to come up? I've got the link for the stream in the pinned comment. I can put it down here again too, though. We'll make it easy. All right, we'll make this easy. There's that link again. If you're not a content creator even, and you just want to come up and say hi, introduce yourself, let us know where you are and what you do, and how you found Ridge Cat Ranch, and maybe if you know some of these other channels, you can tell us what your connection is with some of these other channels. You can do that as well. So I have still working on, hopefully, a quiz show stream next Friday. It will run later than this stream because the one co-host I have lined up already can't do it at 2:00 tomorrow. So it'll be at 4:00 next Friday. I don't plan to do 4:00 streams beyond that. And, I realize that might bump into someone else that's doing a live, but I really, really was excited that this person said he could do it. And so I'm still looking for 2 co-hosts. I need co-hosts, and then I'm going to need 1 or 2 contestants. So everyone that's on the show will be on screen with us. There will be prizes. So keep that in mind. If it doesn't work this time, I'll keep working on, ways to make it work, because I think it'll be fun if I can just get the logistics and the, ins and outs of it put together. And be listening, an FYI for you, be keeping up with the news, because one of the little segments will be like a quiz on things in the news. Not weird things, just stuff that's happening currently in the news. So I'm going to try to make it as, real time as possible. So whatever might be going on in the news next week is what I'll use for material for part of the quiz. All right. If no one else wants to come up or can get their gumption up, I will tell you that if you're a content creator and you're not monetized yet, live streaming really is among the best ways to get the watch hours you need to meet the requirement for monetization. I know before I became monetized, I had started streaming. I wasn't even on screen. I was just live streaming from the duck and goose pen. We have cameras all around the property. So we have cameras inside and outside the duck and goose pen. And I think we had goslings getting ready to hatch. So I just ran the cameras in the pen. I would start them up in the evenings because it's a little easier actually to see with the night vision than it is during the day. So when the sun is out, the shadows and things tend to make the image a little less clear. But at night, the night vision, everything is pretty easy to see. And I mean, I've got some of those streams that have earned me 300, 400 plus hours of watch time, and I didn't even have to be on the screen. Um, and since those did as well as they did, I thought, okay, then I need to be live streaming, like as a host on the channel and visiting with people and putting my face on the camera. So I just want to throw that out again. If you're a content creator and you're dreaming of meeting the requirements to become a YouTube partner so that you can be monetized, consider live streaming. And I think one of the best ways to kind of practice that is to take advantage of opportunities when other people who are live streaming have open panels and you can go up and say hi, like Jerry just did. I know I did that several times before I did my first live, and it really did take away some of the intimidation or apprehension about being on camera. Because that's usually what people say when they don't want to live stream, is that they just don't want to be on camera. I mean, they'll be in some of their videos even, but it is different when you're live, when you've got to respond real time to things or think on your feet. Obviously, the more you do it, the better you get at it and the more comfortable you get at it. But be looking for those opportunities. If not today here in my stream, I do from time to time have other open panel streams where you can come up and say hi. But it's just a great way to connect on a deeper level with your audience. A lot of people really do enjoy getting to know the creator behind the channel beyond what they can see in your videos. So even if you're in a lot of your videos, it's still different than when they get to kind of chat with you, even if it's virtually uh, on a live stream. So think about that. I don't think I have, again, a whole lot else going on. The dogs that are with us will go home on on Tuesday evening, I think. And then we just got um, booked for some offsite. You know, our family business, we tend to people's animals on their property, and so we've got the horse and the donkey. Some of you may remember Nakona and his new rescue donkey, Brother Lucky. Uh, that family's been longtime clients of ours, some of our very first clients ever when we started the company. And they're going to be away for the long weekend for Labor Day. And then they'll be away from home on Wednesday and Thursday next week. And then they're away on vacation for 2 weeks. Like in another couple weeks, they'll be gone for 2 weeks. So that's booked. And then again, we've got boarders booked. We don't have boarders booked aside from Gucci, because Gucci's here every week. But then we don't have boarders booked after these guys go home on Tuesday. We don't have boarders booked again until like the following week on Wednesday. So it'll be just family dogs for the most part here. Gucci's pretty much just a family dog at this point. I'll keep y'all posted on the results now, whatever testing they're doing now to determine if this is a cancer that she's got. I'll let you know about that. So just ask again that you say a little prayer for her and her mom, Tiffany. She's just sleeping here beside me right now. And she's just a good girl. She gets along with everyone. So it's nice that she's been here as long as she has, because I never have to worry. We always do a meet and greet for any prospective new boarders. And typically they only meet our dogs, because a lot of times the people will come on a Saturday or Sunday when they're off work. And Gucci's not usually here on Saturdays and Sundays. She'll be here tomorrow because her mom kept her home yesterday. That was her follow-up appointment at the doctor when she got her sutures out, and they talked with her about the preliminary tests from the biopsy. And so she'll be here tomorrow. I mean, we don't have any meet and greet scheduled this weekend, but I never have to worry. We've never done a meet and greet with our dogs so that we can, assess the temperament and personality of the new prospective boarder. And then we've never had an issue then when that boarder comes. And the people know about Gucci. I mean, we let them know that she's going to be here on the days or some of the days that the boarding session will be happening. And we've just never had a problem with her. We've never had to worry about her. she's friendly. She gets along with everyone. And so even these little bitty dogs, these are the smallest dogs too that she's been around. And she does great with the cats. She's nice to the cats. So when she's here, the cats can be out. But yeah, I'm looking at Connie's comment. Yeah, so I know Connie from Dino's Late Horror Show channel. We met in the chat there, and she's been a great friend and a great supporter of the channel for a long time now. Much love to you, Connie. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for that little comment. But again, if no one else wants to come up, I'll wrap up the stream. Thank you again to everybody that's here right now. Thank you to those that are going to watch after the stream ends. Thank you to our channel members. If you're interested in channel memberships, you can click the join button that's beside the subscribe button. Or if you're already subscribed, it'll say subscribed and it's grayed out or it's white. And then there's a join button. Lots of different levels so that you can support the channel without spending a whole lot of money. It really does go a long way. And, you know, the more channel members, the better. We're on Patreon now, too, if that's something that you're interested in. I don't use it much because I just don't know a lot about it. We got it set up a long time ago, but I just didn't know a lot about it. It just seemed like the thing to do because I knew a lot of people were doing it. But check that out if you want to check that out as well. And I'll see you next Friday. It'll either be the game show if I get enough co-hosts, and we'll do that at 4:00, or it'll just be the regular stream at 2:00. I don't have anyone lined up as a guest again yet, so just be more of a little update, you know, on what's going on. Probably be an open panel again. Always fun to talk with you two again, Jerry. Always fun. I had a great time when you guys were on for the interview. I love that you've come up a couple of times for my open panels. And yes, if you are willing and able next Friday at 4:00, then I'm going to put you down for another. Do you want to be a co-host or do you want to be a contestant? Let me know which one, and I will get you on the list too. And then I'll just need one other person to be a co-host. I'd like it to be a lady. I'd like to have one female in my co-host pack, but it doesn't have to be that way. And then again, if we don't get it done next Friday, then we'll just plan the game show, the quiz show stream for another Friday, and give me even more time to find a great co-host team. All right. So that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. I'll leave the chat open for a little bit, as always, so that you can say your hellos and goodbyes. If you will, please give this stream a like. When the stream ends, please leave me a comment underneath. Again, as Jerry talked about, when people engage with your videos and your live streams and your channel by liking and commenting and sharing and subscribing, then YouTube markets you. YouTube will put the video out in front of other people. And it just takes that little split second of action on your part to click a like button or share it on your channel or your Facebook page or Instagram, whatever other social media outlets you use. I still have a short going up every day. Some of them do great. Some of them don't do so great. It is clear to me that the dogs are a very popular content choice here. People like seeing stuff that relates to the dogs, not the cats quite as much. And then the bugs. Sometimes I'll do a bug kind of related video or a snake or something. Animals. I guess I should just say animals in general, but the dogs still seem to kind of lead the pack, no pun intended, when it comes to people liking watching. So check out my shorts. I do have a shorts playlist. That's a fun way to just go all through them real quick. And again, that way I get watch hours out of it because you're watching through my channel and not through the shorts shelf. That's another little tip for any of you that do shorts on your channels. You don't get watch hours from the shorts. You can make money from the shorts. And obviously you can get subscribers from the shorts. But if you want to do the watch hours, then I recommend that you put together a shorts playlist, and every time you upload a short, you add it to that playlist, and then you share that playlist from time to time and ask people to watch your shorts that way. But that's it. Be safe this holiday weekend. I hope everybody gets some time off. I know some of you are in professions where the federal holidays aren't really holidays for you, but if you're going to be traveling, be safe. I hope you're staying cool where you are. I hope you're not being impacted by hurricanes and earthquakes and all the other weather events that have been going on, this past few weeks. And I will see you next Friday, one way or the other. So I'll have details and a finalized time and what the agenda is going to be as we get closer to that day. Love you too, Jerry. Love to Susan also. As always, guys, be safe, be happy, be well, be blessed. I love you and appreciate you all. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for watching the video after the stream ends. And I'll see you in the next video. Love you guys.